And just make sure everything is working and then
Yep.
start. All right. So good evening, everyone, and welcome to our Tradervue lesson featuring Richard. How you doing, Richard?
Hey, how's it going? Doing great. What about you?
I'm doing well, man. I'm happy to have you back here. And before we even talk, I want to tell our viewers what we're going to be doing today. So, guys, today we're going to be continuing our lesson from last time on the Tradervue basics, and we're going to be diving deeper into the advanced features that Tradervue has rolled out, and talk about how it can help our traders grow and become better. But before that, I'm going to ask Richard a few questions. Are you ready, Richard?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. So, I've noticed your advanced features on Tradervue. And something that I thought was important was what was Tradervue trying to achieve when implementing the advanced features on their platform?
No, that's good. That's a great question. So essentially, what we're trying to achieve, or yeah, basically our objective by implementing those advanced filters is us providing our users with more ways to look for insightful information or deeper information when it comes to their trading. So essentially, we want to make sure that all the traders out there, like that are using Tradervue, have all the tools available for them to like look into their statistics, metrics, and do the proper research of their data and make sure that they are able to spot like what is it that they're doing right and do more of that, and what is it that they're doing wrong and do less of that, of course, or cut that. And so essentially we noticed that with the basic filters it was not enough, and so we decided to implement like more advanced filters. And I personally feel very excited with a couple of those filters that we have in place because I personally use them now in my trading. And those are things such as like arbol, gap percentage. The metrics are very popular among the trading community. And so yeah, that's essentially one of the reasons why we decided to implement it.
Thank you, Richard. It's so amazing because TJ was the first to show me about the advanced filters, at least, or the advanced reports. And whenever I showed him my reports or anybody else showed him their reports, he would always find ways to talk about our trading habits. And so I'm really happy to hear about what these reports or filters can tell us as traders about our habits
Mm-hmm.
and help us improve. But what were some obstacles for Tradervue that he had when creating these features?
So yeah, I mean, obstacles, to be completely honest, and maybe I get a little bit more like into the technical side here, but implementing those advanced filters was a little bit complicated. I'm not a developer myself, but I know the developers like worked really hard on it, and along the way there were some like more technical challenges, but they managed to solve it and find ways to solve those problems and then basically provide with a good advanced filters for our users right now. So yeah, I mean, obstacles or challenges were mostly in the technical side, but we're here, and I think or I truly believe the advanced filters work really well now.
All right, thank you. I can't wait for this lesson. Richard, I'm gonna let you take it away. And if I have any questions, I will just ask. So Richard,
Awesome.
please.
Thank you. Okay, so let's get started. I hope everybody's seeing my screen. So um, uh, we're going to be doing a advanced webinar series, or well, series being the first one that we're doing for United Traders. And so I'm assuming, like, I'm going to continue assuming that you guys already were present during the first Tradervue webinar, and that you already know the tool, know how to import your trades, are also familiar with more technical terms regarding trading. And so I'll just jump into the more advanced part. I believe there's a recording, or I know for sure there's a recording of the first webinar. So if you feel kind of lost with this advanced webinar, perhaps you can go to the first webinar, see that one, and then perhaps jump to the second one, which is this one. So first of all, let me introduce myself, just in case you guys either don't remember me or I'm new for you guys. So I'm Richard Dalder. As of now, I'm more in the business development side of for Tradervue. I'm also part of the educational content creator for Tradervue as well. I've been working for Tradervue for almost like 3 years now. But overall, I've been exposed to the tool like 5 years, because before joining the Tradervue team, I was already a Tradervue user. I'm actually a big fan of the tool. It has helped me a lot to improve my trading performance. Also, a lot of when it comes to understanding more my trading behavior, patterns, things that I can do best, etc. And so what I do as of now, I'm a swing trade. I mostly swing trade U.S. equities. And so moving forward, goals for this webinar or for this hour is I'm a big fan of keeping things simple. So I decided to just keep things simple when it comes to the goals we are targeting for this hour. And so we're looking to learn how to use the advanced features. We're looking to learn how to get to look deeper into your trading strategies or your trading performance, and also learn how to come up with your own advanced ideas. The last part here, the learning how to come up with advanced ideas, it's really important because I'm going to be showing a more advanced side of Tradervue. However, you will see that there are like infinite combinations that you can do between advanced filters and advanced reports, and yourself to like understanding what type of trading you do, and also coming up with your own advanced reports based on on what type of trader you are. It's also very important. So what I'm trying to say is that each trader will give a unique use to the advanced features in Tradervue. And so I'm going to show, of course, some examples, and hopefully that will set you up for success when it comes to using the advanced features. So moving to advanced filters. Advanced filters is the first part that we're going to cover. Oh, sorry, this is not in the right place. Okay, so topics, I'm sorry, that we're going to be cover is advanced filters. Then we're going to jump to advanced reports. Then we're going to do advanced filters and advanced reports combined, which should be third here. And then we're going to go last on drawdown reports. If possible, leave some space and some time to questions. If I, for some reason, use all the time explaining this, you can always reach out our team at support@tradervue.com. This is something that support@tradervue.com. This is something that I'll repeat at the end, and I'll provide you with the email just in case. And so, yeah, moving forward to advanced filters. So in the advanced filters, basically we can filter up by up to 50 criteria, such as days, times, price volume, ATR, arbol, win loss, trade, or result, tags, gap percentage, entry distance to SMA. And so this last one, it's very useful for those that trade more mean reversion type of trades, because in this one, you're basically measuring the distance from the simple moving average, like from the actual price compared to the simple moving average. And that allows you to kind of set up your own criteria to what mean reversion could mean. And basically you can filter that as well, and in essence. So let's move to Tradervue now. Enough about the slides. Right now we're in an account here, Tradervue, a gold account. We're seeing the trade section with a lot of trades. And so what we're going to do is the advanced filter is, you can find it in multiple, like you will see it in trade section and report section. It's in most of those sections you can see it. And what I'm trying to say is that here's a basic filter. You can like before, you can only like filter by symbol, like tags, side, duration, date range, very normal filters or very basic filters. Allow me just a second. I'm closing something here. Okay, sorry about that. And so what I'm trying to say is that before we only had this basic filters, but now more recently we have added this advanced filters. So if we click here in advanced tab, you can see that it says new. And so now we're only able to filter by this only basic filter. Now we can do by multiple criteria instead of days, times, price, volume, instrument, win-loss trades, tags, entry distance to daily SMA, and some more specific statistics. If we scroll down, we still have the trade section. We have the trade table here. And so if we scroll down, we can see we have 431 trades. And I'm saying that because I'm going to start using some filters just as an example. Let's say, for example, that I want trades only that, this is a very interesting one that I use a lot. It's like, I want to see trades that were only gapping that day between 0 and 2%. Very similar to a scanner, in a way, when it comes to filtering. You know, I can basically filter that. And so if we scroll lower, we had like 430 something trades, and we have 73 trades. And so all of these trades, when they were executed, they were gapping between 0 and 2%. And you can see the gap, yeah, the gap filter is on here. We can dig it. We can even get a little bit like deeper into it. We can say like, okay, gap percentage 0, from 0 to 2, and then we can also do like side. Okay, I just want long trades that were in the gapping between that range. So if we scroll down, we will have now 50 trades. And something interesting is that you can basically, yeah, you can see that we have like less amount of trades. And I'm missing a column here now that I just figured. P&L. Let me add P&L here. Oh, okay. Commission. Sorry about that. Yeah, so what I was trying to say is that as you like at a quick glance, you can see your results by like of your overall trades. For example, here right now we're seeing the total result and the average result of like trades between 0 and 2%, and you know, they're all only long. And by doing this, you can like visualize and discover like what things could be really profitable for your trading. There are very interesting metrics or criteria here. Like Arbol is one that a lot of momentum intraday traders use. Prior day Arbol is also really useful. You can also, let me see, you can also select like trade result, like if it was a winner or a loser, day result if the day was a winner or a loser, and you can basically combine like a lot of filters here, which I will not spend that much time doing that, because we will do a combination of the two of them, like when going into the reports, the advanced reports. But I wanted to show you guys that this is something that you can explore. This is something that you can create your own filters. And something really interesting that I think worth mentioning is the fact that, for example, here I have gap 0 from 0 to 2, and then I also have side long, right? So if I create a more complex or more like sophisticated filter, like combining a lot of these things, I can save my filter here. Like in the top right corner, there's an option called save filter, and it's called this long gap 2%. So if I go and click save, now we have we can load the filter now. Like, let me clear it up so you can see. So I've already cleared the filter. There's nothing in the filter. We scroll down, we have 431 trades. But if we scroll up and click here, load filter, we then click long gap 2%. And now we have the filter like being put automatically. And so this is a really good function because it allows you to be very efficient when it comes to comparing and loading filters and even playing with the reports with the filters at the same time. So this is really useful, and we believe it's a very popular feature recently that we implemented. Let me get back to my slides.
So Rich.
Yeah.
Before you go, so I noticed in the advanced filters, you have all these settings. So me, as somebody who trades mostly on RSI and volume profile, I feel like I could learn more about, let's say, if I want to check how often I'm close to the 5 SMA and 10 SMA, I could learn new strategies or enhance my current strategy. So how often do you, the trader, find new ways to enhance your strategies?
Okay, so you mean like using it specifically the entry distance to daily SMA type of thing?
Yes, because oftentimes I know a lot of traders who use like the simple moving averages
Mm-hmm.
to like get into their longs or shorts, but not everybody uses them, right? So
No.
can this filter kind of help you learn how to use those simple moving averages
Yeah,
to
I mean,
find better entries?
no, that's a good point. Something that we see like I'm going to share with you like a multiple like a class not a classic scenario, but something that we have seen once we implemented the advanced filter. So a lot of traders trading mean reversion type of strategies are using this filter to kind of understand what is it that there are like under what criteria they're defining, like what exactly does a mean reversion type of trade means for them, and for that for them to trade that, they need to first of all identify what is like a parabolic move, and so what they do is they start playing around here with the, even if they don't have SMAs or simple moving average in their charts, something that we find is that they're playing around with these filters to understand like, okay, when it is extended, let's say from the 10 SMA in the 5-minute chart or the daily, sorry, from the daily chart is extended more than 20% or more than 30%. That for me means that the stock is going parabolic. It's overextended. So that's when I see that I get the best results. Therefore, that for me means mean reversion type of trades. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to come up with like they already have the data in essence, right? They have a lot of trades that they've been trading in the past. Now it's a matter of like trying to find through the advanced filters what exactly is it that going like a stock going parabolic means, and when it signals kind of like a mean reversion type of trade, if that makes any sense. And so there's multiple ways you can go around this really, but that's one of the cases I've seen so far, or a very frequent one actually.
All right, thank you. I'm loving this, and please continue.
Awesome. Okay, so great question, by the way. So advanced filters. Okay, so we had a quick glance at the advanced filter. Now let's get a little bit more into advanced reports, and we will still use advanced filters in this section. So in advanced reports, so basically, in advanced reports, we can build our own reports based on the following variables. And this is only a few of them, what we believe to be the most important ones, but there's multiples and multiple like variables there, and we will see all of them in a bit. So we have P&L in dollars and also our units, best exit P&L, duration, volume, entry price, exit price, also our units in dollars, and yeah, in dollars. We have MAE, MFE, so max adverse excursion, max favorable excursion, and exit efficiency. So let's get into the advanced reports. Okay, so first of all, let's clear all our filters here. And now let's go to advanced report. And we can find that by clicking it here in the navigation bar in the reports. Then we go to advanced. And then first thing first is the fact that there is a section called trades and there's a section called trends. We will start with the one called trends. Before we move any further with this, it's super helpful that if you're new to the advanced reports, that you click here and help. Let me see if it comes up. Yeah, it does. And so here, basically, you get all like all the information, or not all the information, but a very good summary of what each variable needs. And this is really helpful because when you want to get creative and become like more efficient, like looking at advanced reports, this is really helpful to know in advance, because it's not about selecting different criteria and see what comes up. It's about kind of drawing or coming up with an idea of something that you want to measure or see or visualize, and then put it in the advanced reports and see what you can what conclusions you can draw out of that. And so essentially, understanding these variables is really helpful if you want to play around with the advanced reports like a professional trader basically. And so, yeah, there are multiple things here, but just wanted to point that out because, some people feel a little bit lost in the advanced report, and I do not I do not blame them. It's advanced report can be a little bit trickier at the beginning to understand. But once you kind of get the idea or kind of grasp the concept of what exactly is it that you're trying to get from the advanced report, it's really helpful, really insightful, and it's like hard to get this information from any other place than basically your journaling and analytics tool. And so, yeah, I mean, so let's start with trends. I have a couple examples I would like to go through. So advanced report number 1, where do we find it? We find it in the trends tab, which is what I just mentioned. We have a formula for that. And this is basically the variables we're going to be using, and I'll show you in a minute. So what is it telling us? The overall behavior of our winning rate up for the last 30 trading days, and it provides me a good idea of recent traders' performance and perhaps strategy health. Yeah, I'm going to read this again once we do the advanced report. So if we click here on trends, we have here y-axis, which is already in win percentage, which is the formula that we have. Like, take a look, like, oops. Yeah, we have win percentage daily period 30. So win percentage daily 30. So, okay, so the y-axis is basically the variable that we're using. Moving average, where this is taking either like trade index or like trade by trade or each trading day. And so period, it's basically, in this case, it's 30 trading days. You can make it up to 50, so on and so forth, depending on the amount of data you have available. And so what do we have here? We have a report that it's basically telling you the dates here, the x-axis, and then it's telling you in the y-axis your winning percentage. And so this is a very, like, at a glance, this is a very simple advanced reports and a good way to start, actually, because basically what you're looking at here is the overall behavior of the win percentage throughout 30 trading days. And so, for example, in this case, you can see that this trader, this sample of trades that we have on this account, was having a 75 at some point, like a winning percentage, but throughout time it's been declining. So this gives you an idea at a quick glance that you're having less winning percentage, and that could be an indicator or a red flag for your strategy or for your trading performance overall, or something to look into at. Of course, there are multiple type of traders, multiple types of multiple type of traders, multiple types of styles. This is, for example, a very helpful report when it comes to like scalpers that are all about winning percentage. But at the end of the day, you got to combine win percentage with a profit factor and some more metrics to kind of think in terms of positive expectancy, which is kind of the most important metric, one of the most important metrics when it comes to trading. But this gives you a good idea of the behavior of your winning percentage when it comes to your strategy or trading performance in the last 30 trading days. If you want, you can do 50, and you will see that you will get more, more basically sample size here. I believe you can do until 100. I don't think I have 200. Oh, no, I don't have 200 for a sample size here, but yeah, 30 trading days for me is a good benchmark when it comes to like measuring very recent trading performance. But you can play around with that, of course. So that is for so going back to slide. So yeah, so again, what is it telling us? The overall behavior of our winning rate for the last 30 trading days. So it provides us with a good idea of recent traders' performance and perhaps strategy health, or how well your strategy is doing. So that is about, yeah.
Sorry, Rich. It's so interesting you show us that chart, because this can also kind of show us the trader's mental health, right? Like in the beginning, you're winning so well, especially it's going so well, and then it's like, oh, what's going on? Now you're trying to like hold it off, and it kind of shows that maybe you need to change your strategy or maybe take a break from trading because you're probably over trading as well.
Yep. No, you're exactly right. And that's this is a very good indicator. Like I mentioned, it could be, I believe that it's not like trade, like there is the trader there is a strategy and there's interaction between the two of them, right? Like I believe though, I like to see that like those three parts, right? And so it's very you can also use this, as you mentioned, like to understand like the trader's health, right? Like one of those three parts is not clearly not doing something right here. You know what I mean? It could be the trader, could be the interaction with the strategy, it could be the strategy itself. So yeah, like you mentioned, this is already also a good way to measure like the health of the trader mindset as well. And so moving forward, okay, that was advanced report number 1, very simple one. Let's get a little bit more, or well, let's actually do another one that is also simple, part of the trend step. So where do we find a trend step? In this case is formula profit factor daily and period 30. And so we're going to be seeing what it's telling us in a bit here. So now we're basically have the same yeah, basically the same criteria, same variables, but instead of looking at win percentage, which is not maybe that important for a trader that is looking more for risk reward ratios or profit factor, then let's look at profit factor. And so essentially, this gives you even more insightful information about your, you know, how well your strategy is performing, or how well the trader is performing as well. So here we're looking at the last 30 trading days and how the profit factor has been behaving in that sense. And so, you know, ideally by knowing your win percentage here and also your profit factor and understanding those two behaviors, you will understand the overall view of your positive expectancy. And so that's super important for you to know, of course, because that's basically going, it's telling you if you're going to be profitable every time. Like in average, if you're going to be expecting a positive outcome out of your trading. And so essentially here you can see that the profit factor has been moving sideways. At some point it did peak at almost like 2.4, which means that the profit factor was almost at 2.4. And then it started, you know, declining, which is a clear indication that something's not right. These cases are, we like to show realistic cases, if you will. And so what I'm trying to say is that it's also very valuable to see not only the, you know, when you're like super, like performing super well and you're doing like, you're in your most profitable time, but also like seeing a realistic example of actually maybe when things are not going your way, you know? So what I'm trying to say is that understanding profit factor and combining it with win percentage, it's really, really powerful here. And so, yeah, this is basically your profit factor behavior in the last 30 trading days. If we move to the slides, profit factor, yeah, basically what is it telling us? The overall behavior of our profit factor for the last 30 trading days provides a good idea of a recent trader's performance and perhaps strategy health, and also positive expectancy, something that I didn't mention before. So that is advanced report number 2. So then we have advanced report number 3. So again, the trends tab. Now we're going to take a look at something a little bit more complex. It's position MFE, maximum favorable excursion versus maximum adverse excursion. What is it telling us? It basically compares trading drawdown versus potential profit. So basically how much the position went against me, and also how much in my favor did it go. If that makes any sense. Ideally, it would be above 1, and the higher the ratio above 1, the higher the potential rewards. And basically, it's like telling you like, hey, you're actually not letting your trades run that much against you, but you're also letting them like run in your favor. So assuming you have a high ratio when it comes to this combination. So let's jump into it right now. Let me close something here. Okay. So we have profit factor here, same variables here, and now we're going to go to position MFE and with MAE ratio. So as I mentioned before, you can draw an imaginary line here. Actually, let me draw a line. Never used this tool. I should use it at some point. Let me use another color. Undo. Okay. So that's a line or something like that in one, right? And so what I'm trying to say is that ideally you want that to be over one. If it's over one, it means that you're like again, like cutting your it could be that you're cutting your losses short and letting them run in your favor, not necessarily meaning that you're realizing gains but you're letting them actually work in your favor rather than working against you. If that makes any sense. And so basically here, what we're seeing, of course, is the same thing, but in a 30-day trading days like period, this is kind of the behavior. It doesn't look that clean for this set of sample, but I invite you guys to explore all of these advanced reports with your own trading and see what kind of conclusions you can come up with. I think it's a really good exercise for you to understand, like very insightful information when it comes to how you trade in your trading strategies. And so that is advanced report number 3. Another simple one, but a little bit more complex because it's taking into account something that not everybody mentions, which is MAE and MFE. Okay, how do I, just a second. Okay, awesome. So that is advanced report number 3. Advanced report number 4. Okay, so now in this case, we're going to use the trends tab, but also we're going to combine it with an advanced filter. And so in this case, we're going to use profit factor plus daily plus period 30 plus gap percentage plus side long. AF means advanced filters. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're gonna select profit factor here, daily 30. We're gonna scroll up, go to advanced, and look for gap 0 and 2, but also look for side long. And yeah, we're gonna click on filter. And things did change here. We're just gonna put it back in. And so take a look at this, for example. What we're seeing here is the behavior of your profit factor in the last 30 trading days, but only on long trades, that have been gapping between 0 and 2%. And that's the reason why I wanted to like quickly kind of give you guys like a review about advanced filters, because something that a Tradervue is allowing you to do now, and in a very complex way, but also simple at the same time, it's like you can now get deep into very specific things about your trading and identify what is it that you're doing, like very small niche of things or very specific things when it comes to your trading of things that you're actually doing really well, and maybe things that you're doing the worst, and you can definitely cut that or not do that anymore. So I don't know if you guys remember, but the profit factor that we saw before, I think at tops was like almost 2 or something. But when it comes to long trades that are like long trades that were like gapping between 0 and 2%, basically the profit factor here improves. And this is something not necessarily tells you that you have to go and just go along and all those trades between 0 and 2%, but it tells you that you can be perfect. Like it tells you that you have a greater profit factor in those trades. And we can actually save this filter if we want to we want to save this view and want to take a look at this in the future. We can just click save filters. We can call it profit factor. Let's call it PF plus gap 2% plus long. And then we click in save. And now we have a filter that we can play around with whenever we want. And of course, the advanced report is not going to be saved, but now you have the criteria there, and you just need to put the profit factor and the daily here. And so we can also see the win percentage of that. We can see that a win percentage at some point was almost at 72, and then it started declining for some reason. That could be multiple reasons. Market could be trader, performance, could be the strategy, multiple things. But yeah, it gives you a really good understanding of more specific things inside of your trading, if that makes any sense. So that is a combination between an advanced filter and a advanced report. So what is it telling us is provides a good idea of how the trader or trading strategy is performing when only going long, and also gapping between 0 and 2%. I did miss that part there, but now it's there. So yeah, that's essentially advanced report number 4, combination of advanced filter and advanced report. So let's go maybe now to something more complex. Now we're going to move to the trades tab instead of the trends tab. And we're going to be playing around with the x-axis and the y-axis. Here we have a combination of day of the week versus best exit P&L, or combined with best exit P&L. And so what is it going to be telling us is what day of the week offers us the highest potential return on our trades. Let's take a look at that. We're going to go to, we're already in advance. Let me actually clear the filter, first of all. Now we're going to go to trades. And so we did day of the week. We're going to look for day of the week. And by the way, let me just take this advantage of this moment to share with you like all the variables we have. We have a lot of variables here that we can play around with. From P&L to volume, duration, entry price, exit price, trade, open date time. We have a lot of variables you can play. And so if you start thinking about the combinations you can do, not only with the x-axis, but the y-axis, and also the advanced reports or the advanced filters, I'm sorry, your possibilities becomes, like infinite when it comes to like getting to the nitty gritty and to the very like insightful part of your trading essentially. So that's the reason why, yeah, I'm going to show you some examples, but the idea is for you to come up with your also some of your ideas and conclusions and kind of things that you want to see about your trading. And so here we're going to select day of week and time, if I remember correctly, and then we're going to select best exit P&L. And we're going to say here, scale data points by trade. So basically this is just showing in a more easy to visualize way. The dots are, so let me explain a little bit here. The green dots here represents, if it's green, it's a trade that was profitable. It was a winner, basically. If it's red, then it's a losing trade. But here, basically, is showing you, in the y-axis is showing you the best exit in terms of P&L, not necessarily meaning that you realize the the gains or the loss here, but it's telling you in which days are you getting the best and the worst also, like opportunities against and in your favor. Because below 0, it's basically losing trades, and above 0, it's basically winning trades. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. So above 0 means that you're basically, they were providing you like best exit in your favor, and below 0 means that at no point it was provided, you were provided with an opportunity to actually get a best exit P&L, or in this case negative. What represents winning and loss, it's basically the color of the dots, and the size, which is super important for you to know. It represents the amount of gain that you did realize. So the bigger the dot, the bigger the realized gain or loss. So essentially here, what we're trying to do is identify, like the slideshow was telling us, what day of the week offer us the highest potential return on our trades. So basically, if you take a look here, we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and you want to see in which of those days you're getting most of the green dots and also the bigger green dots. So for example, here Monday seems to be like a good day, because take a look at the small red dots, like there are not much. and they're not that big, but also we're getting like best exit PNL in our favor here. So this is essentially telling you like, hey, Mondays are a day in which you actually get your trades be more in your favor. Doesn't necessarily mean that you're really realizing any gains. It's just telling you that on those days, your trades tend to go in your favor more compared to other days. Could be, for example, if we take a look at, for example, Thursday, it's not a good day in that sense if you compare it to Monday. And actually Wednesday looks seems to be a good day, but taking into account that we also have like this big red dots, it's also telling us that it's also a day in which we have basically the trade going against us, and so, or well, ending up in a loss essentially, and a bigger loss. That's what I'm trying to say. This advanced report is a little bit more complex, but I invite you guys to take a look at it. And if you do not understand something, again, you can go to help and understand what they mean, what H criteria mean. And this is super interesting to take a look at when it comes to your trading strategy. So that's advanced report number 5, a little bit more advanced, a little bit more complex, but very insightful. Then we have in the same tab, trades tab, we have duration combined with position, MAE, which is telling you after what point in duration our trades are not profitable anymore. And this is super interesting because this one allows you to, in a very a systematic way, to identify what a time stop could be in your strategy. So how to make a time stop in your trades. This is basically something we're going to identify, hopefully. Let's take a look at the data here. So x-axis duration, what was the position, MAE? And okay, so essentially position MAE is basically telling us the max adverse excursion that the trade went against us, basically. And so here we have trade duration. And so essentially we want to look at after what point during the trade duration we're no longer having any winning trades. And remember, winning trades are green dots, and the bigger the green dots, then the bigger the profits. But after what point we're not getting any winning trades. So in this case, for example, I don't know if you guys can see it, but I'm gonna draw it so we can make it more obvious. After like around 160 minutes, where is my, okay. So after 160 minutes, I go something like here. After this on this side, we're not getting any winner. We have a small one here, but I count that as an outlier. And ideally you will have more, of course, to kind of get a more like a bigger sample size. But let's say that you have, for example, more trading sample size than I do right now, and you can definitely get into understanding what a good time stop could be for you. So essentially this is telling me like, hey, after 160 minutes, which is like 2 hours and a half or 2 hours and 40, something like that, you're not getting any winning trades. So why hold why hold the position more than that time? And so that allows you to, maybe do tweaks to your strategy depending on what type of trade you do, what type of trader you are, and what your strategy, relies on. But this essentially provides you insightful information to understand like, hey, maybe I can free up this capital after X amount of time, and I can use that capital to other trades, or maybe just not risk it at all. Not have it there like being exposed to risk. And so, yeah, that is a really interesting one in my personal opinion. Something interesting that I think worth mentioning is the fact that you can download all of this information here. When you click and download, you will see a CSV. Like you can download this in a numeric way. And if you're like, if you're really into analytical and numeric analysis of your trades, here you can play around with this, create more advanced reports and customize it on your own. That's when things get more complex, but very interesting for those traders that really like to dig deeper into their trading stats, essentially. So that's about it. So let's move to the other report. Let's see what do we have here. Advanced report number 7. Okay, so this is advanced report number 7, trades tab. The x-axis we have trade index and instrument. Y-axis we have instrument opening gap percentage for those of you who take into account like opening gaps. So what is it going to be telling us? Our trades performance based on instrument opening gap. And it will essentially allow us to identify in which opening gap percentage our trades performed best or the worst. Let's go ahead and do that. Trade index. And then we have instrument opening gap, it's called, if I remember correctly. And there we go. Instrument opening gap. So essentially here, in a nutshell, what you can do is identify your performance of the trades based on how they, like how much of a gap do they do before you traded. Or during that day, before the market opens. And so essentially, as you can see, like it's not that clear, but if I had to mention something here, for example, is that I wouldn't pay too much attention to trades that are like gapping more than 10% or less than 10%. And the reason why it's because if you take a look at what it's outside there, like the bigger chunks of winning trades are actually in the middle, and most of them are actually in the middle. And yeah, we have some losing trades, of course, that's natural. But after that, I don't see like something that would be like, we have a couple winning trades, of course, but we also have a lot of losing trades out of there. So, you know, this is basically telling you some valuable information that you can use in your trading strategy as well. Again, each and everybody will have a different set of data, and we'll, you know, get into different conclusions or draw out different conclusions. But yeah, I'm just showing you like a very simple example of what you could do by using this report. So that was advanced report number 7. Then we have advanced report number 8, trade index. Oh, actually, okay. Advanced report number 8, the trade tab, trade index position MAE. And so this is basically telling you after what point a losing trade doesn't end as a profitable winning trade. And this will help you to improve your stop placement. This was really helpful for me personally. So let me see, trade index and position MAE, yeah. Position MAE. Okay, so this is basically telling you, so again, green dots are winning trades. The size of the green dots are the amount of profit. You can call it the profitability or the level of profitability of the trade. If it was like a big winner or a small winner, or a small loser or a big loser. But in this case, what we're trying to understand is after what point the trade is no longer, or is very unlikely to end up being a winner. And so in this case, I don't know you guys, but I can see like a clear point here, like around -30, in which the trade basically goes below there, doesn't look back, ends up being a loser, and sometimes even a big loser. So let's actually draw the line. And it's around here. Oops, not a good line. Like below here, I don't see, like below 30 or below, and this is by the way, dollar value, like below 30 bucks in this particular case, could be a number. Below 30 bucks, I don't see a reason why I should be holding into a trade anymore. And so this allows me to know until what point I should be like holding my trades in terms of that dollar value, of course. And so this is also very valuable because it, you know, sometimes we place a stop based on market structure and multiple variables according to your strategy. But also this gives you another insight into like, okay, maybe I'm seeing my trade going against me too much. Like, what is it too much exactly? And when you should know that maybe it's unlikely to actually start going in your favor or end up being winning trade in the first place. So very valuable information in my opinion, something to explore for sure. So moving forward to yeah, day of the week and P&L. Actually, this is something that I'm going to well, yeah, let's see it real quick. Yeah, or how are we in time? Okay. Yeah, so day of the week and P&L, what day we're performing the best. That's basically what we're going. This is a simple one. Day of the week and time, and then we have P&L. So essentially here you can take a look at a quick glance on like what are the days that you're actually performing the best and actually having like, well, this is an outlier, but having a great day. And which are the days in which you're maybe not performing that well. Maybe you should not push it too much. So essentially here, for example, Mondays, you can see that we have a couple of nice days here. Also, we don't have like much like losing days in big chunks of P&L here. And so Monday seems to be good for this set of the data for this particular trader. So maybe Monday is a day in which you should try and push it a little bit more. But for example, days such as like Wednesday, even though we have the outlier there, Wednesdays and maybe Thursdays in which we're not maybe like not performing that well, those days maybe we can be a little bit more conservative, more careful, because we're also not, yeah, we're putting some good days, but not necessarily. So essentially, this is a good way to see like your P&L based on day and kind of compare the performance and see, maybe what days you're performing the best and what days you're performing the worst. And depending on that or based on that, actually putting either more or less size or pushing it, or maybe trading more, trading less, things such as that. And so that is it for the advanced report. Again, you can play around with not only with this, but you can start getting into advanced filter, doing a lot of combinations. I invite you guys to kind of review all the advanced reports that I just did. If you feel like getting more creative, put some advanced filters. If you're a trader that trades a specific niche, or you think, or you have an idea you might be like really good at trading a specific niche, and you have the trade sample data, play around with that, try to filter that, try to draw some conclusions. The other part that I'm going to be covering, which I personally think it's part of the advanced features, and it's even a feature that we recently released, is the drawdown report. So everybody in the trading community always, well, not everybody, but a lot of people tend to focus a lot of their attention in their good streaks and when they're having a great momentum in their trading, and that's good. That's no problem at all. But what I'm trying to say is that not much traders pay attention to when they're not doing that great. And so that's the reason why we decided to come up with the drawdown report section here, in which it tells you like it tells you the behavior when it comes to your drawdowns. And this is very insightful information, because this is basically telling you how, when you're in a bad streak, or when you're having a drawdown, or when you're having a bad moment in your trading, how is the behavior of that? And so here in statistics, you see average drawdown, average number of days in drawdown, average trades in drawdown, biggest drawdown, number of days in drawdown. I'm not going to go over those because I did in the first webinar, the basic one. But I wanted to cover something here that I did not cover in the first one. It's a little bit more advanced. But if we scroll down here and we take a look at the P&L volatility, for example, something that I think worth mentioning is the fact that, so the blue line here is our P&L, right? And so the red is kind of the medium, if you will. And then this is a Bollinger Band, by the way. And so the yellow one's one standard deviation above the medium, and the green's one standard deviation below the medium. So essentially, this is telling you valuable information when it comes to your P&L. So a good example of what I'm trying to say is that whenever you see that your P&L volatility is actually one standard deviation above, is at one standard deviation or above your normal medium, like that is a moment where you're actually crushing it. Like you're doing really, really well. And so that is a moment where you're actually should be pushing it when it comes to maybe trading bigger size, or maybe like trading more, if if that's your style of trading, or but doing more of what you're doing and maybe putting more size, because as you probably guys know, markets are cyclical, opportunities are unique, they come and go, and they do not present themselves, since the market is always changing, always evolving. And so when you have those and you're actually like when you're absolutely crushing it, then that's the time you want to push it. And the other hand, when you're having a bad moment and when it's time to evaluate, it's when you're at like one standard deviation below the medium or below that, essentially. And so that's when you like need to take 2 steps back and start thinking about what is it wrong. Maybe stop trading for a while, maybe decreasing size, maybe just sticking to your niche, or what your most powerful or most yeah, like valuable setup, or yeah, more profitable setup, if you will. Like that's a moment when you want to take 2 step back and kind of reevaluate everything you're doing when it comes to your trading. And so that is the reason why I wanted to go here to the P&L volatility. And so yeah, something else I wanted to show here, kind of to wrap it up here in the drawdown, is that if we go to the advanced filter and we go to day result and we click here on winning, filter by that, of course, we're not going to have any drawdown or performance by day of the week, because we're talking about here about drawdown, but we're going to still have a P&L moving average here. And the P&L moving average here is basically telling us this is only for the winning days. And please keep in mind that for this to make sense, you will need to be like in profits. Like you will need to be a have a set of a data, or be a profitable trader, and basically have that set of data in Tradervue. But essentially here, what this combination of advanced filter plus drawdown report provides us is with a more safe way to scale up your trading. And let me explain a little bit more about that. So here we have an average of how much we're earning, basically. And so basically, as you start having more P&L, of course, your average starts adding up. And so this is something that I've seen, and the reason why I'm touching this topic is because I've seen multiple proprietary trading firms that are client of us doing this way. Well, not necessarily client of us, but also like proprietary trading firms all around the trading community, the trading space. I've seen that they take into account how much they're doing on an average day, and they tend to divide it by a third or a half. And so what they do with that number is that, for example, in this case, we have 2,256, right? And so that is an average at that point, how much I'm making, right? And so essentially, when you divide that by 1/3 or a half, basically, you have what they call a max daily loss limit. And so, because essentially you don't want to be risking more than 1/3 or 1/2 of what you do in any given day, if that makes any sense. And so that's the reason why we think it's super valuable to kind of do the combination between advanced filters and drawdown reports. That is the last thing I wanted to show you. Actually, no, I want to show you here the average P&L R expectancy over 20 trades. But for that, let me get back to my filter drawdown example that I have prepared. So yeah, this is basically telling you this. This is an advanced report actually in the drawdown section. And it's telling you that over the last 20 trades, how your average P&L R expectancy has behaved, basically. And you want this to be over 0. That's the reason why you have a line here. Because if it's above 0, then you have a positive expectancy, which means that in a nutshell, you're supposed to be having a positive outcome of your trade every time you put a trade. Of course, we're only taking into account over 20 trades. And yeah, you want this to be over 0. That's essentially what I'm trying to say, because that means you have a positive expectancy, and this is being shown in terms of R units on purpose. And yeah, I mean, I think that's it for now. That was the drawdown report. Fed, do you have anything to add before I get into the exclusive deal we have for United Traders or with United Traders?
Yeah, Rich, like, man, like, that's amazing. The drawdown report is, I never even knew that existed. Maybe because I'm a sole member, but still, like, the fact that you have that, it's like it's like a systematic way of it telling you, all right, take a seat and reevaluate yourself, because you're down here, and that means something is going on with your trading style, or you're over trading, or you're revenge trading. And just seeing this, it kind of just gives you the data you need to just take a step back.
Definitely. Yeah, we were really, this is actually new. It's been around for couple, no, like 4 or 5 months, I could say something like that. I know we implemented last year, but it's relatively new, and our users are still starting to begin how to get the most out of them. And so yeah, we're really excited to share it with you today, and hopefully the community can get the most out of it as well.
Yeah, man. Thank you very much. I'm gonna let you give this out and then say the goodbyes that need to be said.
Yeah, definitely. So I just wanted to mention before I wrap it up that we have an exclusive deal for United Traders. It's been there since a while now, and that is a 10% off forever on all Tradervue plans. I believe Fed, you guys provided with more instructions on how to get that.
Yeah,
On
so
your
yeah, so guys, stay tuned in our announcement chat. We're gonna announce how to get this lifetime discount of 10%. But also, if you already have an account on Tradervue, we'll let you know how to apply the 10% off so that you're able to get this service a bit cheaper, but still also enjoy all these features because they're amazing. And now I know why TJ was pushing for this to occur, because this is great how much you can learn about yourself and how much you could probably improve. The potential is amazing.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. All right. Thanks, Fed. For a matter of questions, I'm sorry, for a matter of time, I would not be able to like answer many questions, but, I mean, if you guys have any additional questions, or if you guys have questions, you can always shoot them at partners@tradervue.com. Are you able to check Fed in the chat if you guys have any questions? Maybe I can cover up a few minutes of a few of those, and perhaps the ones that I'm not able to cover, you can always reach out to us at the support desk. And sorry, this is not partners, this is support, and I'm so sorry for that.
No worries. So yeah, there were a few questions. So one of them were, do we ever use the net tab for the P&L tab when you're doing the reports?
Oh yeah, definitely. That's a great question, and thank for mentioning that. So essentially what you do here when selecting the net tab, let me clear all the filters and we can go to advanced. Yeah, so it could either be in trades or on tabs or whatever the case might be. Well, what we do when we click on P&L type, we switch it from gross to net. When you click on net, it's actually taking into account your commissions and fees. And, of course, it's super important, especially for those, trading more at a professional level. You want to see your results taking into account the commissions and fees. So yes, if you want to see your results taking into account commissions and fees, click on net. If not, just click on gross.
All right. And then the last question we had was, can we go back to your service plans so they could know what they're paying for and what do they get before we let it go?
Our service plans, you mean? Yeah, okay, you mean like our plans?
Yeah, our pricing, yeah. Let's do it one more time
Yeah,
so that they could see it. I know you said it the last video, but I like to show in
yeah,
multiple videos so nobody misses this out.
yeah, definitely. Definitely. Is this what you're talking about?
Yes, exactly this. Yes.
Yeah, essentially in what I'm having being displayed is a gold account, and the reason why it's because gold account takes to like supports all the advanced reports and also everything that I just showed to you. Also, gold supports commission and fees. So if you want to be able to import your commissions and fees, you will need to have the gold plan. And to be completely honest, because of that, you know, all of our professional traders use gold. Even in proprietary trading firms, when they are like they want to become our clients, all those traders have gold. So if you want to get like deeper into into what we have to offer um, when it comes to advanced reports specifically, then gold is the way to go. And also because you have risk analysis, which is something that is included in the advanced report. Yeah, if you want to know more information, that it's in Tradervue and pricing, scroll down and you will see the difference between free, silver, and gold. We have free trial, 7-day free trial, so feel free to sign up and give it a try. If you like it, then perfect. If not, that's fine also.
All right. So thank you, Richard. On behalf of our community, I want to say thank you for coming and doing this lesson for us. It was really, really insightful, and I really thank you for this. Really do. Guys, thank you for watching our live stream and lesson on Tradervue, diving deeper into the advanced features. I guarantee you that this is going to help us grow and become better traders. Anything else you want to say, Richard, before we go?
No, I mean, just thank you for having me. I love the United Traders community, and I'm actually looking forward to do more of these things. So let me know if the community wants to see more, or specific things about Tradervue. I'm really happy to share and also expose this type of things to a community such as yours. So thank you for having me here. It's been a pleasure.
All right, thank you, Richard. Everybody, have a great night.
All right.